We often chalk up hair thinning to the natural course of aging, something to accept, not investigate. But that assumption can be misleading. In fact, we help a 72-year-old woman completely turn her hair loss around, from this to this. And in today's episode, we're going to show you exactly how you can do the same. Welcome back to the Elderly Health Tips, where wisdom meets science, and where aging doesn't mean surrender, it means strategy. Today, we're diving into the real reasons behind hair thinning, scalp irritation, and hair loss in older adults, and why many seniors overlook the early warning signs. Here's a fact you may not know. A study in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology found that more than half of women over 64 experience noticeable hair thinning. Yet, very few are properly diagnosed or treated. This delay not only affects confidence, it can lead to unnecessary emotional stress and missed chances for recovery. Joining us today is someone whose career spans generations. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, Japan's oldest practicing physician, still walking, still working, and still guiding patients well past the century mark. His insights are as deep as his experience, and his approach blends modern science with timeless wisdom. Thanks for having me, Johnny. It's always a pleasure, he begins. But let me ask you this. Why is it that we treat hair issues in seniors like a beauty problem, when it's often a medical signal? It's a powerful question. Many of us grow up thinking hair is just about style and appearance. But when your hair suddenly starts changing, especially later in life, it's rarely just about looks. It's the body's quiet way of saying, pay attention. That's the heart of today's episode. Because hair loss in older adults is not just a vanity concern. It's often a reflection of internal imbalance. Dr. Hinohara has seen it too often. Patients handed pricey shampoos or trendy treatments, while the real issue, whether it's a vitamin deficiency or a hormonal shift, goes unaddressed. We tend to blame age, he says, but that mindset robs people the chance to actually improve. So today, we'll walk you through 4 often ignored causes of hair problems in seniors and the most effective, natural ways to support a healthy scalp without relying on risky medications. We'll discuss how nutritional deficiencies show up in your hair, how natural remedies like rice water and cumin can calm the scalp, why safe derma rolling might help wake up sleeping follicles. By the end, you'll know what to test for, what to try, and what common myths to stop believing. Because yes, the symptoms may be real, but when we misinterpret the cause, we chase the wrong solutions. You said it perfectly. Dr. Hinohara agrees. If we see hair loss as just a cosmetic issue, we'll miss the deeper healing that's possible. This episode isn't just about regrowing hair. It's about aging with clarity, resilience, and dignity. It's about listening to what your body is really telling you. That reminds me of something personal. A few winters ago, I visited my mother. She was 81, still full of energy, still hosting Sunday dinners, still refusing to slow down. But when I hugged her, I noticed something had changed. Her thick, wavy hair felt finer, more delicate, especially around the crown. When I asked her about it, she waved it off like so many others do. But what if those changes aren't just inevitable? What if they're signals? And what if you knew how to respond? John, everyone kept saying it was just age, but something didn't sit right with me. So we ran a few simple tests, and the results were eye-opening. She was severely low in vitamin D and ferritin, 2 quiet thieves that slowly drained the body of energy and vitality. Once we corrected those deficiencies, it didn't take long. Her energy came back. Her hair started to regain its texture. That's the hidden danger. Hair changes are often the body's first whisper that something deeper is wrong. And if we ignore that whisper long enough, the body eventually begins to shout. So let's start at the root, literally, because what most seniors and even some doctors overlook is how something as small as a nutrient deficiency can quietly disrupt hair growth long before anything shows up on a lab report. Hair doesn't just fall out for no reason. It falls because something inside the body is missing. When nutrients are low, the body prioritizes survival. That means the brain, heart, liver, they get what they need first. The scalp comes last. Even mild deficiencies in vitamin D3, B12, iron, or ferritin can slowly star the hair follicles for months before the loss becomes visible. And when it does, most people reach for a shampoo instead of asking a better question. What is my body trying to tell me? That shift in thinking is critical. Hair loss isn't just a cosmetic issue. It's often a late-stage signal. And here's the thing. Many seniors are told their labs are normal, even though their results are sitting at the very bottom of the range. So yes, we absolutely need to look beyond the standard lab values. What's considered normal for a 30-year-old may not be good enough for someone at 70, especially after decades of gradual nutrient depletion. I don't just ask what's in range. I ask what's optimal for you. Because hair is often the first place where those subtle imbalances show up, long before they evolve into something more serious. That changes how we think about prevention. If we wait until there's a full-blown crisis, we're already behind. But if we respond to early signs like thinning hair, we're not just improving appearance, we're restoring function. That's the deeper story that often gets missed. Hair loss might seem like a vanity issue, but for many older adults, it's actually the body waving a flag, pointing toward a much bigger conversation about overall health. So let's talk about the natural supports, the foods and traditions that help nourish the scalp before things get worse. One of the most underrated is cumin. Yes, cumin, the same spice sitting in your kitchen. It's more than flavor. Cumin oil contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that soothe irritated skin. It's also rich in iron and zinc, both critical for hair follicle health. Used as a paste, just cumin powder mixed with lemon juice and coconut oil, it can calm dandruff and reduce persistent itching, which many seniors experience. And when consumed regularly, whether as a tea or just a pinch after meals, it works from the inside where true healing begins. The best part? It's simple. No prescriptions. No fancy products. Just wisdom your grandmother probably knew. And that's the beauty of tradition. It keeps working even after we forget why. I once had a patient say, if it didn't come in a bottle, I didn't think it counted. But our bodies don't recognize brand names. They recognize nourishment. That idea is empowering. Because for seniors struggling with dry, brittle, or thinning hair, something as gentle as rice water or cumin can offer not just relief, but a sense of control. And that's where true healing begins. Now let's turn to something truly underrated, fermented rice water. It's simple, ancient, and surprisingly powerful, especially for aging hair. When rice water is left to ferment, it transforms from a basic starch into a potent, nutrient-rich rinse. Fermentation breaks it down and releases amino acids, minerals, and antioxidants that nourish the scalp and strengthen the strands from root to tip. It's especially helpful for seniors dealing with brittle, porous, or frizzy hair. Even using it just twice a week as a final rinse can bring back softness, reduce breakage, and add a natural shine that most commercial conditioners can't compete with. What's wild is how rarely we talk about this in clinical spaces. Most people are handed a new conditioner or told to stop using heat tools. But they're not taught how to actually rebuild the foundation of their hair. And that's a problem. We've slowly lost the everyday wisdom that used to live in our homes, like how to prepare something as simple as rice water. Do you think that disconnect has made us rely on products we don't really need? Absolutely, John. When we stopped making things ourselves, we also lost the understanding of what true care looks like. Boiling, fermenting. These aren't just beauty rituals. They're acts of self-connection. And as we age, that connection becomes even more vital. You're right. The body doesn't respond to flashy solutions. It responds to consistency, to gentle, repeated care that supports it over time. That's why something like derma rolling works too, because it taps into the body's natural ability to repair and regenerate. When used correctly, a derma roller creates tiny, controlled micro-injuries on the scalp. These tiny punctures send a signal to the body. Send help. Send nutrients. Send repair. And for seniors experiencing thinning at the temples or crown, this can help wake up areas that have gone quiet. But here's the catch. It has to be done gently. Too much pressure or poor hygiene can cause more harm than good. This isn't just about hair growth. It's about how we treat ourselves. Are we forcing things? Or are we listening to what our bodies actually need? Exactly. Real healing doesn't happen through punishment. It happens through thoughtful, respectful care. And for some seniors, the idea of standing over a stove to make rice water might feel old-fashioned, but it's actually one of the most forward-thinking, sustainable things they could do. Now, let's come back to derma rolling for a moment. It really is remarkable how controlled microtrauma can lead to regrowth. I've had patients who were skeptical, but once they tried it consistently, paired with natural oils like rosemary or castor, they were blown away by the changes. Is it safe to try at home? Or should older adults be more cautious? If someone is healthy, paying attention, and uses a correct needle length, say 0.25 to 0.5 millimeters, it can usually be done safely at home, but there are important rules. Never use it on broken, irritated, or infected skin. Always sanitize the tool. Wash your hands. And most importantly, listen to your body. That's the part most people forget. They push through pain, thinking that more discomfort equals more results. But healing doesn't come from aggression. It comes from cooperation, from working with your body, not against it. And that's the real beauty of all of this. Whether it's cumin, rice water, or derma rolling, these aren't quick fixes. They're quiet tools, rooted in tradition, backed by emerging science. And they all share the same principle. Respect the body, nourish it, and give it time to respond. So where we begin, let's pull everything together. Starting with the 4 root causes of hair loss in older adults, and how true healing begins from the inside out. Here's the truth. When seniors begin to notice thinning hair, the issue rarely starts with the scalp. It starts deeper in the blood. Low levels of vitamin D3, iron, ferritin, and B12 create what I call a nutrient drought. And hair, being non-essential for survival, is one of the first things the body stops nourishing. But here's the part most people, and even some clinicians, miss. Your lab results might come back normal, but that doesn't mean your body has what it needs for hair to grow. Especially as we age, what's normal on paper may still fall far below what's optimal for repair and regrowth. That's a major shift in how we think about blood work. I've had patients told, your iron's fine, even though they're sleeping 10 hours a day and shedding clumps of hair in the shower. So what should we really be checking for? Start with ferritin, a key storage form of iron. If it's under 50, it's often too low for active hair growth. And vitamin D3? For older adults dealing with chronic thinning, I prefer levels between 60 and 80, not just scraping the bottom of the chart. Because we're not just trying to treat a number, we're working to support the whole system. That shift makes all the difference. It means we can move forward with more precision and more hope. And here's the good news. Once these deficiencies are corrected, hair often starts to bounce back without expensive treatments or invasive measures. The body wants to repair. It just needs the right building blocks. For so many people, this changes everything. Maybe they weren't missing products. Maybe they were just missing answers. So let's take a look at the 4 common mistakes people make and how to care for hair in a way that's rooted in clarity and confidence. Mistake 1, focusing on the hair itself and ignoring the scalp. The scalp is skin. It's alive, responsive, and deeply affected by its environment, but it often gets neglected. Dryness, product buildup, poor circulation. These things choke the follicles before they ever have a chance. No shampoo in the world can fix a starved scalp. That's why something as simple as massaging in coconut oil or using tea tree oil can make a massive difference. Not because they're magical, but because they restore balance to the skin underneath. I've seen people get more results from 5 minutes of daily scalp massage than months of high-end treatments. Touch, warmth, circulation, it all matters. We just haven't been taught to care for our scalp like we do for our face. Should scalp care be part of our daily routine, especially for older adults? Asterisk, asterisk. Without question, as we age, circulation slows, so stimulation becomes more important than ever. A warm towel, a gentle brush, a minute massage, it doesn't need to be fancy. Think of it as giving the scalp permission to breathe again. Because it's not dead skin, it's living tissue. And it responds beautifully to consistent, simple care. That brings us to something even more important. Hair loss isn't a sign that something is broken. It's a sign that something's been overlooked, When we shift from fixing to nurturing, everything changes. And that's where tools like cumin, rice water, derma rolling, and nutrition come in. They're not magic bullets. They're rituals of care, ways to support the body with patience and intention. So let's wrap up with the truth that matters most. Hair changes in seniors are rarely just about the surface. They're signals, messages from the body that it needs a little more support, a little more nourishment. And the beauty of aging is that we still have the power to respond, not with fear, but with wisdom. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring your body at every stage. From healing foods to gentle tools, small steps can truly shift your health, not just your hair. And before we go, I'd love to leave you with one simple reminder. Your hair isn't turning on you. It's trying to speak to you. And if you listen with kindness, you'll know exactly what to do. We'll see you next time on the Elderly Health Tips.